Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard our free live trade brief this Thursday afternoon, high noon, on this beautiful Thursday to Trading the Death Star Solo Amazon. A lot of new folks, a lot of new faces. Over 800 people registered for this event. So really looking forward to talking about what we have to talk about, which is absolutely a lot. Going to keep this brief to about an hour, plus or minus zero, right? On time, on target. What's the Death Star? Well, if you got Star Wars nerd kids like me, it's that big, almost moon-sized battle station that literally took over the universe. Kind of got attacked by a bunch of teenagers in a Winnebago, a space Winnebago, and half blown up, but then it was rebuilt bigger and stronger than ever and came back and took over the universe. So that's the Death Star. Hopefully everybody in this room is familiar with Star Wars and Death Star, but we're going to talk about the stock that I call the Death Star. Real quick, in my personal accounts that I trade, I am long Mara, Amazon, short Amazon, long XLY, long Cybin, which is a great plant space psychedelic stock, which is up about 7-8% today, which is looking good. MindMed, short Tesla with a weekly bear call spread that's up about 70% since Monday, or about $3,000. So looking really good. Okay, clearly Top Gun options. Top Gun Fighter Foundation. I'm sitting here looking at a couple fighter jets outside my window. So a little bit of an aviation theme to what I do. It's been, about 35 years of my life around aviation. So aviation and trading go hand in hand. Matter of fact, at Top Gun Options, I like to say that trading is a form of combat, right? Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And which side of the equation do you want to be on? Why wouldn't you want to use those same methodologies that we use in combat over the skies of Iraq on the skies of Wall Street, right? Or the street of Wall Street. So real quick question for all the new folks. Which fighter aircraft would you rather fly? And I'm going to give you two choices here, right? There's your first choice. We'll call this choice A. First of all, looking at that cockpit gives me agita. It just makes me, it makes me shake. This is the F4 Phantom cockpit, folks. Take a look at that. There are over 300 switches and dials in that cockpit. A very labor-intensive aircraft for the pilot, right? The pilot would spend a lot of what we call heads down time in this cockpit looking at all that stuff instead of eyeballs out the cockpit looking for enemy MiG aircraft or surface to air missiles, or even AAA, anti-aircraft artillery. Matter of fact, this aircraft was so labor intensive, they threw another dude in the back to just run the radar. Very labor intensive aircraft. Good looking aircraft, fast, looked like just a great piece of machinery. But look at it. Here's your second choice, choice B. What do you think? 2 flat panel displays. That's it. No steam gauges. Anybody see any of these locomotive steam engines, steam gauges like in the Phantom cockpit? Of course you don't. 2 flat panel displays. This jet is so smart, ladies and gentlemen, that it actually limits the amount of information that it displays to the pilot at any different given point in a flight. The jet's smart enough to go, yeah, they don't need to know this right now, so we're not going to show it to them. Absolute insanity. This jet, we call the Wonder Woman jet, right? It's invisible to radar. It's its own self-contained air force. It can jam, it can bomb, it can shoot stuff down. And you want to be really creeped out? It learns. It's learning what the pilot does at when and this, and then it adds it to its memory. So this, Cyberdyne systems here, Skynet's become self-aware. We're getting there. But anyway, the choice is clear, folks. In combat, as in trading, a lot of people think combat or trading is complex. How do we battle complexity with simplicity? Right? And that's what I'm going to teach you here at Top Gun Options. By the end of today's gathering, our brief, I'm going to give you an up-to-date intelligence brief about what's going on. You got to know what's going on around the globe, the United States, before you can talk about a stock, folks. The only stock you need to own, and that's not, that's a fact, right? That's an absolute fact. It's the only stock you need to own, and a good substitute to trade in case this stock is a little rich for your blood. Okay, so make sure you silence that electronic nicotine, no distractions, because you've never heard what I'm about to tell you. I guarantee you've never heard this before. Real quick, if you don't know who I am, because I know we have a lot of new folks joining us, because some of our strategic partners sent out emails on our behalf, and I appreciate that. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz. Last time I checked with my parents, they loved me and didn't name me Wiz. I earned that call sign flying the FA-18 Hornet for the United States Navy for about 15 years. I graduated from the Navy Fighter Weapons School, which many of you know as Top Gun, as an adversary pilot. So I was a bad guy, right? I was a good bad guy. I was in a jet painted like an enemy MiG, and we studied enemy tactics, the threats, the missiles, and everything like that. And I would be a bad guy to our good guys to get them prepared to go overseas, right? I also flew some combat sorties over Iraq off of USS Abraham Lincoln and off of the Kitty Hawk. Now, what's this have to do with trading? Absolutely everything, folks. I've been doing this for 31 years. In those 31 years, as I got commissioned as an ensign in the United States Navy up at Jacksonville University in Florida, put on my new whites as an ensign, drove down to Naval Air Station Key West, Florida, my first duty station, and I remember writing a check for $25, which was a lot of money for me at the time, in 1991 to the USAA Aggressive Growth Mutual Fund, right? I knew. First of all, you don't join the Navy to get rich. You don't serve your country to get rich, folks. You do it because you want to serve your fellow Americans and stand for something great. Don't even talk about what's going on today in our country. But I figured after a little bit, I'm like, why am I paying fees to a mutual fund manager to pick stocks when I can do that? My girlfriend keeps Ann Taylor in business, and I'm paying the American Express bill. Those were the first two stocks I bought. And then 31 years later, here I am. But as I went to flight school and became a young fighter pilot, I started applying everything that I was learning as a naval aviator, having a strategy, implementing tactics that support the strategy, contingency planning, managing risk. Now you're looking at a picture of me inverted over the desert up in Nevada, and I'm going to talk about risk. Yeah, folks, as a fighter pilot, as an options trader, we want to minimize and eliminate all known risk. I said known risk. Donald Rumsfeld passed away recently. He had a great saying, right? There are known knowns, meaning there are things that we know that we know. There are known unknowns. There are things we know that we don't know. And then in combat and in trading, there are known unknowns, but unknown unknowns. There are things we don't know that we don't know. So applying this to my trading worked extremely well, ladies and gentlemen. So I essentially went from the flight deck to the trading pit right here, folks. If you don't know this building, it's a very famous building. This is the Chicago Board of Trade. This is the intersection of Jackson and LaSalle. It looks like Gotham, right? That's where they filmed Batman and everything like that. But this was our trading firm right here. I went from little old retail trader, my performance, the things that I taught and thought and did worked so well that I popped up on the radar of one of the largest volatility arbitrage firms in the country. Little old retail trader Wiz, right? When I was there, I helped build a retail brokerage called Options House. I helped build a hedge fund. I had an absolute blast, but that was our trading firm right there. So as the managing director of strategy for this $2.5 billion firm, and then in my spare time, I made the Options News Network, ONN.TV, right? We were kind of the CNBC for options. Now, CNBC, I know John and Pete Najarian from my time in Chicago. They're big dudes, so I'm not going to badmouth them, but they only pay lip service to options on CNBC, right, guys? The unusual options activity right before we go to commercial, and we have 30 seconds left, right? So I built the Options News Network. I actually hosted a couple of the programs, right? I was the host for 3 or 4 of the shows. I just had a blast. No offense to anybody from Chicago here. No offense to anybody from Chicago. You can keep it. 9 months out of the year, I was absolutely miserable. I'm a beach guy. I'm a Navy guy. I'm sitting in here in Fort Lauderdale right now. I love the people. I love the food, love the wine, but you can keep it. I moved down here to South Florida, and we started Top Gun Options about 11 years ago. So I'm more or less Eddie Murphy in the movie Trading Places. I went from being little old retail trader, to running a multi-billion-dollar firm, and then I did it on my own, and I'm teaching people how to trade options. Folks, I put the ladder down. In the military, when you made it to a higher rank, or you got to go to Top Gun, or you did something cool, you put the ladder down, man. You accelerated the experience of all your friends. right? On Wall Street, you pulled the ladder up. When you made it, you pulled the ladder up. Screw everybody else. I got mine. Speaking of that, I don't do that, right? I work with several charities in South Florida. I lost a sister to a drunk driver when she was 19 years old at Villanova University. I support the Broward Sheriff's Office. I'm in the chairman's circle. We support families of deceased first responders here in Broward County. And then last year, I started my own foundation, folks, the Top Gun Fighter Foundation, trying to prevent veteran suicide. Almost one in the hour that we're talking, a veteran will kill themselves. One veteran per hour kills himself. The VA sucks. This current administration sucks with their support of veterans. So I started my own. I support other veterans foundations, Warrior Health Foundation, Warrior's Choice, Vets Exploring Treatment Solutions, the Badger Air Foundation, you name the Tailhook Educational Foundation. We have given away a ton of money this year to veterans causes, and we ain't stopping. I've personally purchased an L-39 aircraft. The foundation purchased an L-39 aircraft, but I think we're going to pull that out of the foundation. But we're going to take these on the air show circuit to raise awareness for the plight of veteran suicide and try and reduce that number. So there's the potential paint scheme of our aircraft. If you want to be a sponsor and help our foundation out, let us know, because I'd love to have you. Okay. Well, there's a couple. That's currently how they're painted right now. That's the first one, and then that's the second one that we just bought there. So we're going to use it. We're going to take like Marcus Luttrell flying, the lone survivor. We're going to take AJ Buckley from CBS SEAL Team. There might be somebody whose last name begins with the letter T and ends in P. Not the big one, but the smaller one. We might be flying him. Maybe even Governor Ron DeSantis. We are in contact with his office. Another good Navy guy. And that's me. Real quick, folks, that took 12 minutes. If you come to one of these briefs to learn how to trade about something, and the dude or the lady just doesn't tell you who they are or their background, or they take 30 seconds, I don't understand how people sign up for that stuff. But anyway, that's me. That's when we left Chicago. I'm a lot older, a little wiser. Matthew over here on the right is going to be a senior at Norwich University in Vermont. He's in the Corps of Cadets. I dropped him on his head when he was a kid. He wants to fly for the Marine Corps. Jack wants to go to Notre Dame in NROTC and fly for the Navy. Keely's not allowed to leave the house. She's 13 years old, going on 30. And that is my family. All right. 13 minutes that took. Perfect. We are right on schedule. Let's go ahead and get airborne. Sit up straight if all of that stuff was boring. Because, like I said, I'm about to tell you stuff you've never heard before. It might be shocking or it might not be shocking, right? But Wall Street's lying to you. I've been there. I've been in the boardroom. I've been in boardrooms. I've been in trader bars. I've seen the scuzziness that is Wall Street, and they're lying to you. They've been lying to you since day one of investing, right? How many of you, give me a quick show of hands, how many of you have heard you can't put all your eggs in one basket, right? I'm an investment advisor. I'm a broker dealer. I'm a smart financial person, and you must diversify. Diversification is important. The 5 reasons why you have to diversify. Every time they said the word diversify to you, do a shot and you'd be dead, right? So it's a lie. Who's lying to you? That dude right there. Ladies and gentlemen, why do they want you to diversify? Whenever you hear the term broker, whether it's a real estate broker, a yacht broker, an aircraft broker, I want you to delete the word broker and insert the word commission. They make money the more that you trade, the more names that you're in, the more times you trade. You got it, Salim. It is absolutely a scam. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, it's an illegal practice, but they do it. I've seen it. It's called churn. Anybody ever seen the movie The Wolf of Wall Street or the movie Wall Street or Boiler Room or any of these? Every morning the dude opens his office door. All right, open your phone book or let's start calling all the little old ladies in their tennis shoes. Get them out of that stock from yesterday. Tell them this is the hot stock today. Why? Churn, commission, churn, commission. It is absolutely a racket. Now, if you're sitting here going, well, Wiz, I trade with Robinhood, and it's no commissions. You're a chump. If you think you're the customer when you're paying nothing, you're a fool. You are the product. You heard about this. I've known this practice since I've been in Wall Street. Payment for order flow. Ken Griffin at Citadel, Stevie Cohen at SAC Capital, or 7 Point, or whatever the hell his company is. Folks, it's like playing poker. If you don't know who the idiot is at the table, it's you. So payment for order flow. They're going to get their money, folks. They don't have 5 houses in the Hamptons because they're charities. They have 5 houses in the Hamptons because they squeeze you. They sell your order flow, and Ken Griffin and at Citadel and Stevie Cohen trade off of it. It's a scam. Ladies and gentlemen, you absolutely do not have to diversify. As a matter of fact, as a fighter pilot, as an options trader, I'm pretty blunt. I need to be direct. Why wouldn't you be? Diversification is for stupid people. Now, that might have hurt and been pretty blunt, so let me clean it up with somebody nicer than me. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. It makes very little sense for those who know what they are doing. Let's do that again. It's a protection against ignorance. I said stupidity. It makes very little sense. If you know what you're doing, why are you diversified? Brokers tell you, well, you want to sit down and put a bunch of chips at the table and maybe one of them will hit. What? That makes zero sense to me, folks. You do not have to diversify. The only name you have to trade for the rest of your life is Amazon. This company, ladies and gentlemen, we can sit here all day and debate if it's a monopoly or not and everything like that, which we'll talk about in a couple minutes, but it is diversified in and of itself. We'll dig into it, but I'm a numbers guy. I'm a chart guy. I like pictures. Take a look at this picture. I need to update this from the last 2 earnings. And look at this. Amazon's annual revenue continues to grow at 30% a year. The maid's in. Sorry about that. The maid's in here with her vacuum. Anyway, so 30% a year. Amazon continues to grow. Look at that. It's a hockey stick, folks. It's going up like this. Now, I'm going to preview in a little bit that earnings next week are most likely going to be epic, but they're not going to meet this. But this is absolutely insane. Look at the revenue growth. 30% a year. Folks, I've been doing this for over 3 decades. I've never seen a company do this. Okay? How about its annual revenue by segment, ladies and gentlemen? Look, anybody see a trend here? I remember when AWS wasn't even a thing. AWS is Amazon Web Services. It didn't even exist. Now look at the growth, folks. Amazon Web Services is essentially Microsoft, right? So, and look at their North America there. It's insane. Google, for the past couple earnings period, hasn't mentioned, they haven't named, because it's Amazon, that they have a pretty big competitor in the advertising space. It's Amazon. You name the space, Amazon's getting into it. 6 months ago, a little news story, Amazon just trademarked Amazon Pharma. You want a good bearish trade long term? CVS and Walgreens. A year to 2 years from now, you will get your cell phone will buzz. It'll say, go to the door. The door will open. You'll open the door. A drone will scan your face and drop your prescription in your hand. Amazon Pharma, Amazon Web Services. Full disclosure, when I first got out of the Navy, I flew for FedEx for 8 months. I was miserable. I hated it. Couldn't stand flying from midnight to 8 in the morning trying to sleep in the hotel during the day. No, thank you. Anyway, a buddy from mine who was in corporate 7-8 years ago called me. He's like, Jeff Bezos just leased 5 jets. I'm like, he's going to do it. My buddy's like, what? I'm like, he's going to be you. He's doing the Rockefeller. Why am I looking at the oil well? I love my oil wells, but wait, the oil gets put into a truck. The truck goes to a railroad, and the railroad moves it. And the railroad goes on steel. I'm going to own all of it. Jeff Bezos is brilliant. Amazon Prime Day, folks, has turned into a thing. It's turned into like a national holiday. It's actually an event. People like put it on their calendar. You got it, Rudy. It's vertical integration 101. Now, I'm going to be honest with you because I have no how to be. If you blacked out Amazon, the word Amazon, and showed me this chart when I was in the board of trade on Wall Street and said, would you invest in this company? I'd laugh at you and I'd say I'd short it. Why? Look at their sales. Wow, those sales are incredible. Their free cash flow. Well, that's not super good. And their profits. This chart right here makes Democrats go insane. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Bezos is brilliant. Jeff Bezos has, first of all, he said his company will never have a dividend. He's like, a dividend is stupid. If I make any money at Amazon, I'm taking that money and using it for something. I'm going to buy a competitor. I'm going to put a competitor out of business. I'm going to innovate. He takes money, he takes profit and puts it right back into the company. This is why Democrats are going nuts. They can't get them, which really lets you know where we are in this country when they're going to like pass laws to specifically target a company, right? We can talk about over beer, that type of stuff, but this is insane. But I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is not your father and mother's stock market. This is not buy shares of General Motors, put them in a shoe box, and leave them in your closet. This makes sense. I remember a couple of years ago when the Trade Monster platform could not it couldn't list the PE, the price to earnings ratio for Amazon because it only had 3 digits. It was like 4,000 or something. It was insane. But it makes sense. Okay, so always got to look at the other side too. Don't listen to me though. Folks are printing money in this service. David, with one call, was up 51 grand. Sam, Amazon 3,000 calls, still made 80 grand. Dennis up 145,000 on a June 21. Kevin, read this one. Cumulative Amazon gains net out to 12,673, which is nicer than it seems since I started 6K in the hole before following Wiz's discipline correctly. Other good stuff, but I'm not a big case study guy. Let's get going. Now, before I sit here and sing sunshine, lollipops, and unicorns about Amazon, let's talk about the potential bad. What are the risks to trading just one stock? Let's go through it. Anybody ever hear of a company called Lehman Brothers? How about Bear Stearns? Right? Jim Cramer. You watch Jim Cramer? Jim Cramer knows all about Bear Stearns, doesn't he? Bear Stearns is a steal up here at $70. At the height of the financial crisis, Jim Cramer he looked like Khrushchev in the UN. He was pounding his shoe on the table, screaming about how you should get into Bear Stearns at $70. 2 days later, it was at $0. Good call, Jim. Your money's safe at Bear Stearns. How about Pets.com? How about Enron? Ladies and gentlemen, for the next 37 minutes, I could sit here and we could walk through the graveyard of stocks that have gone to zero together. Stocks can go to zero, but let's use our thinking brains. Lehman Brothers, 150-year-old company, Bear Stearns, Pets.com, Enron. What is the common theme between all 4 of these examples? Does anybody know? You don't have to answer, I'll tell you. They didn't own a thing. Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns owned paper, derivatives, contracts written on pieces of paper backed by nothing. Pets.com owned a URL, a domain name, and a stinky sock. Enron didn't even own the building they were in. They were a middleman of electricity. They didn't own a thing. So can stocks go to zero? Yeah, not if you own something. Folks, Jeff Bezos, I landed up at Lakeland Airport the other day after fighting a MiG-17, a massive Amazon Prime facility at the end of the runway with jets. Amazon owns things. They own stuff. There's one down south of Miami International Airport I did consulting for back in 2015. Folks, it was like an aircraft carrier flight deck. Hundreds of thousands of people moving around in chains. It's insane how much Amazon owns. So can Amazon go to zero? Yes, but it's physically impossible in my opinion. Look at this. So well, I should have clicked to the next slide. Amazon property X offices, international and North America. Folks, no matter what, stocks can go to zero. Real estate can't go to zero, folks. People need to live somewhere. People need to work somewhere. So real estate always has value, right? Airplanes, whatever. But let's move on. What are some other risks to potentially just trading Amazon? This dude's gone, right? He's up the street at Mar-a-Lago. I have him on this slide because this was a potential threat. I remember Donald Trump waking up one day, or not going to bed one day, grabbing his cell phone and destroying Jeff Bezos and Amazon. They're a monopoly. The Washington Post is a lobbyist. Jeff Bezos is destroying the post office. Somebody needs to do something. You're the president. Who's the emperor of the world needs to do something. Everybody remember? Amazon stock kind of hiccuped a little bit. And then what did it do? Never looked back. Until a year and a half later when Donald Trump again grabbed his cell phone and ripped Amazon apart as a monopoly. Then what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, folks. Right? Absolutely nothing happened because of this. But almost on a daily basis, we see this stuff. Right? Amazon this, DOJ criminal probe of that, antitrust this, antitrust that, DC Attorney General antitrust. Amazon's planned purchase faces FTC. Critics, this was yesterday, or the other day when he flew his penis ship into orbit. How tone deaf, did you see him with his little cowboy hat? How tone deaf do you have to be? I just flew to the edge of space and you paid for it. My workers and you did. I physically, I know when people write the word cringe, like, oh, I cringed. I physically cringed when the dude said that. So there is risk to Amazon from Uncle Sammy. And Amazon can never be woke enough to bow to the mob to not have Uncle Sam start poking around. Doesn't matter that he's minimum wage this, or I donated to that and I gave to the Biden. It doesn't matter, guys. You bow to the mob wants more. But here's the problem with Amazon right now. Not a problem, it's actually a defense. Not only is Amazon, it's like Mercury. You smash Amazon, you're going to create 12 little monopolies. It's too late, right? Oh, and by the way, I think Jeff Bezos, being the richest man in the world, has maybe a couple extra bucks for attorneys. Does everybody remember Standard Oil or AT&T or even Microsoft or IBM for that matter? It takes anywhere from 5, 10, I think the other one was about 15 years to get to an opinion that maybe we should break up AT&T. Right? So this is a potential threat. Okay, I actually would love if they broke up Amazon. It would create a bunch of little monopolies. But so anyway, I've done my job as a briefer. I've pointed out all the risks to putting your eggs in this one basket. But this should prove to you that it is diversified. It's a diversified company, from air to ground to pharma to food to Amazon Web Services. You name the vertical, they're getting to space. All right. Now, to be honest with you, Jeff Bezos, I wear 2 suits at Top Gun Options. I wear my flight suit. I'll tell you how it feels as an American. I think Jeff Bezos is a disgrace. I just don't like the guy. He's smarmy. This, that, and I can just go off for an hour. Yesterday, the worst tone deafness I've seen out of a billionaire. Thanks for the ride. You paid for it. He was right, but he said the soft part loud and the loud part soft. But at the end of the day, folks, at Top Gun Options, I'm going to put on my $10,000 Armani like Gordon Gekko and go, I don't care. I'm here to teach you how to potentially make money trading Amazon stock. Just like Gordon Gekko said, you want a friend, get a dog, right? I love watching the movie Wall Street because like throughout the movie, he quotes Sun Tzu all the time, right? The art of war. So I wear my 2 suits. Now it's time to go Gordon Gekko. Now that I thoroughly looked at the risks of trading just Amazon, let's look at the benefits. Folks, if you just trade Amazon and the ETF I'm going to tell you about in a couple minutes, you're trading that name and you're potentially going to profit no matter whether it goes up, down, or sideways, right? You become an expert and stay focused on the news and events that impact Amazon instead of a bunch of different stocks or ETFs. All the time that you'd spend on other positions is saved. I have a buddy who's an Apple market maker. I'm not being facetious or joking when he doesn't say he doesn't know a stock market exists. He doesn't know what the VIX is. He doesn't care. He eats, breathes, sleeps Apple for decades. He doesn't care about anything else. Doesn't have to pay attention to anything else but Apple. Right? We had a research desk at my trading firm in Chicago, 22 analysts. Their job was to eat, breathe, sleep like one or two names, right? Do you know how many times they got stuff wrong? I'd be like, dude, for 8 to 10 hours a day, your job is just with company X to know everything about it, and you completely got this wrong or didn't know about this. What chance does a retail trader have, right? Let me give you an up-close personal example. My orthopedic surgeon buddy down here in Boca Raton, God's waiting room. Wiz, I need help, man. All right, dude. Meet me at Starbucks. Back when I didn't know a Black Rifle coffee existed, and Starbucks was an anti-American company. So I sat at Starbucks, and Doc booted up his laptop. After he logged into his brokerage account, he swung the computer around and showed me his trading platform. And thank God he's a doctor, because I fell out of my chair and I cracked my skull. You ready for this, folks? He had 33 positions. I'm going to let that sink in, and I know this might be hitting close to some of you who are watching this webinar. This dude's a retail trader. No, he's not. A retail trader would surgeries, office hours. The dude works 10, 12, 14-hour days. 33 positions. He attempted to sit there and go, well, I think this is a pot stock. I don't know what that is. Let's move on to the next one. I'm like, oh my God, dude, you have money, you have stuff in your account, you don't even know what it is. I think this is they make this, and my buddy got me into it, but it's down 50%. I'm waiting for it to come back to get out of it. I'm like, wait, what did you just say? It's down 50%, but you're going to wait for it to come back to get out. Oh my God, man. So anyway, I'm not going to, he's a good buddy of mine, but he loves when sometimes he shows up to these. He's like, thanks, dude. It's the truth. I'm going to tell you, folks, I do this for a living. You ready for this? 3, that's a black marker. That would make no sense. 3 to 5 maximum positions in my portfolio. And that is too many. I do this full time, guys. If you got 6 to 10 positions in your portfolio and you're not sitting here for 12 hours a day, folks, I've been doing this for decades. I've seen this in retail traders. You're failing. I guarantee you. Are you able to track the news and events and everything in all 12 companies or ETFs? No, you can't. Hell, I got professional buddies who do this and they can't do that. Simplify your trading cockpit, ladies and gentlemen, with one name, maybe 2. Now, by this point in the brief, I usually have a lot of converts. Like, you know what? I like this. However, it does not compute. This wire still says diversify. First day of trading, they inserted that wire. Guess what? You want to diversify? I'll teach you how to diversify in solo Amazon with this ETF, XLY. Amazon's a $3,500 stock right now. It's a lot of money. Even the options are pretty expensive. Guess what we use as a substitute? An ETF called XLY. It's the consumer discretionary ETF. Why do we trade that? About a quarter of the ETF is Amazon. So it's a good substitute. There's regular Coke, here's Diet Coke. But check out, if you're sitting here going, whew, diversification, look at the XLY. Tesla sucks. Home Depot, Mickey D's, Nike sucks. Starbucks sucks. Lowe's, Target, Booking, TJX. For all the folks who just let out a big sigh of relief, welcome aboard. You can be diversified in solo Amazon with the XLY. One of my buddies used to, Sherry, lots of my favorites. You got it. So I'll teach you to trade the XLY. I have XLY positions on right now. So How do we target Amazon and XLY for max profit? This is easy, folks. Step one, we do our solo Amazon brief every Monday at high noon. Every Monday at noon, we do a live brief, about 30-minute brief. Okay. I'm going to, this Monday, after we get a bunch of you new folks on board, I'm going to show you how we establish a base position, like the Marine Corps, on the beachhead. We're going to land, and I'm going to show you, we're going to jump in that F-35, and I'm going to fly a couple years out into the future. With options, we can get bullish or bearish on a name years out into the future. So I'm going to, I call it a base position. I'm going to show you either employing a tactic, not a strategy. Makes my skin crawl. If you ever go to one of these briefs and somebody says, my favorite option strategy, click the X in the upper right and leave. They don't know the difference between a strategy and a tactic. They don't know what they're doing. I'm going to teach you these two tactics, either synthetic stock or a long call diagonal. Now, look in the parentheses, protective puts. I'm staring at two fighter jets. Ejection seats. I don't go flying in a fighter jet and go, hey, Chief, pull the ejection seats out. I'm awesome. Today I'm not going to die. Give me the extra gas. That's the day I die. So I'm going to teach you at all times as an options trader to have protection. What's that famous saying? We all know who's swimming without a bathing suit when the tide goes out. So when the market goes down, we kind of find out who was swimming around naked. That ain't going to be us. Now, after we fly out into the future and establish that base position, I'm going to trade what I call the front months. What's a front month? You're sitting in a front month, July, August, September. Those are the front, and then we have the all the way into the future. And we'll take a look at that in a second on an options chain. If Amazon or XLY are going up, we'll trade some bullish spreads, buy some calls. What if it's going down? They will go down. Between now and 2-3 years out into the future, we will see a massive bear market. You can write down the date and time I just said that. $4.5 trillion in new spending. A Fed printing money with the Treasury, $1 billion a minute. Higher taxes on everybody on this webinar. And inflation, that's not transitory. Somebody tell me in any moment of history where all of those conditions existed and the market went up and didn't implode. You can't. But we're going to trade the front months. But even if XLY, our bullish position all the way out in the future, is getting a little hammered, we're going to hammer the front month. You can make money on stuff as it's going down. That's what's great about being an options trader, right? We can even make money when things are going sideways. Hey, Wiz, this thing's just chopping around. We make money. If you're a stock trader or investor and things are moving sideways, you're sitting there staring at your screen. Not as an options trader. We'll do a tactic called an iron condor. Good stuff. Okay, so what I want to do now is I will actually go show you. Let's go take a look at Amazon and see what's going on. Why? Because the biggest alligator closest to the boat in Amazon right now is what? Coming up next week. Oh, sweet, look at Tesla. I sent this out as a weekly options trade. Was it yesterday? Look at this trade, up $3,400 and essentially in a day. What's that? Bye-bye, Tesla. All right, but we're in solo Amazon, not solo Tesla. So what's going on with Amazon? First of all, the best thing that could have ever happened to Amazon was COVID, period. Here is blowout earnings. These were the good old days, wasn't it? Unemployment at record lows, stock market at record highs, beat China into a phase one trade deal, blah, 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 blah. And then, boom, COVID crash, right? COVID crash. Oh my God, Wiz, that's funny because I just heard, what a shameless plug. No, COVID crash is a book that you wrote that is going through editing and is about to be released, isn't it, Wiz? It is. Thank you for asking. Sorry. But we at Top Gun Options, me, predicted the COVID market crash to the day. And then all the way down when the smart money told you, oh, this is the bottom. Donald Trump, I saved his one tweet. market's definitely looking good here. The next day, the market went down 2,000 points. He deleted that tweet. I have a screenshot of it. But anyway, as the smart money told you to buy all of these dips, I told you to sell them. And then right here, last March, when Jerome Powell dropped the biggest financial nuke in history, I said it's over with. And you know what happened? It's over with, meaning get bullish. And you know what happened? The smart money said, no, it isn't. We're going to go even lower. And they were wrong. Remember this guy? Jeffrey Gundlach, April of 2020. He's finally getting out of cash and shorting the market. This was the end of April, folks. A retest of the March lows is very plausible. The market did that. Jeff Gundlach manages $190 billion at Double Line Capital. That's the smart money, folks, right? That's the so-called smart money. A little bit wrong, Jeff. We were right. Anyway, here's why I'm rambling, because this was the best thing to happen to Amazon. Then what happened? Why is it leveled off, Wiz? You know why? Jeff Bezos has been as quiet as a church mouse recently. Why? Except for the blast off into space. Here's why. They've printed money. This earnings period and this earnings period, the last earnings period, they made $850,000 a second. I'm going to let that sink in. Why? Everybody's locked up. The United States is closed. Here's some free money from the government. Sit at home and order stuff off of Amazon. Amazon, ladies and gentlemen, previous to this, had always stepped up on top of their desk and yelled at the top of their lungs how they're printing money. They haven't said a word. Every one of these earnings calls, they've done what? They've hidden how much money they made with some other headline, right? What was this one? Jeff Bezos is stepping down as CEO. Stock imploded. By the way, we made $1 billion. We're loaning money to God. That was hidden, but every one of these earnings, they are hiding how much they're making, right? I just think it's comical. Why are they being quiet as a church mouse? Because you have AOC, you have all these people realizing that Amazon was allowed to explode while your local hardware store and stores exploded. Small businesses were destroyed by Amazon. I'm not telling you anything new. Gordon Gekko in me says that's fantastic. That's why I'm bullish on Amazon. The guy in the flight suit says it's an absolute disgrace. Shut down Amazon for for a year and let all the small businesses reopen and catch up. Not going to happen. But here's where I'm getting done with my ramble here. Earnings are next Thursday. This time next Thursday, they will report earnings. Here is my earnings prediction. First of all, we've seen a massive buy the rumor. Buy the rumor in the earnings, sell the news. That's what usually happens with these names. Okay? Buy the rumor, sell. So we've seen an incredible run out of Amazon recently. Why? Well, besides Nancy Pelosi's husband insider trading and breaking the law, which of course you'd be thrown in jail for, some judge said, well, they might be able to get the defense contract, the Jedi contract. The Jedi contract, folks, is $10 billion. Jeff Bezos gave $10 billion to charity last year. You think the stock should have a rip your face off rally because of that? The answer is no. Also because he stepped down as CEO. No. Massive push out of Amazon. Here's my prediction for earnings next week. Buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't care how good earnings are going to be. This is why a lot of retail traders hate Wall Street. Wiz just told me that Amazon's going to print money. They are. Well, I'm going to get bullish on Amazon. After hours trading, Amazon's down $100. And you're like, I hate Wall Street. Why does this happen? Because it's already, folks, Wall Street is forward looking. Everybody knows Amazon's going to have blowout numbers, but guess what? They're not going to be as blowout as here and here. I like telling the story of my fastest flight in the Hornet. I went up to about 60,000 feet, the edge of space, pointed straight down at the Pacific off San Diego, and got up to Mach 1.7 before I'm like, I think I better start slowing down. It's the day I almost died. Almost didn't die over Iraq or this or that. I almost killed myself in an F-18. But anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is because going straight down at Mach 1.7, when I pulled the throttles to idle to slow down, it was like I hit a brick wall. That's what's happening. Amazon is going 1.7 Mach, and they're a little slowing down now that everybody else technically should be open and things are good. Their numbers are still going to be good, but not 1.7 Mach good. And Wall Street will not like that. Now, I'm still uber bullish long term on Amazon, guys. You can hop. I'll teach you on Monday at 2. Look at the options chain with Amazon. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to hop in that joint strike fighter and fly all the way out to June of 2023 and get bullish. So, folks, you can be bipolar trading options. I'm going to teach you this. You're going to be bullish all the way out here into the future, and then we can, in the front months, be bearish. You can be doing both. That's why being a stock trader is a chump. I'm buying Amazon and holding it. Okay, well, enjoy that. I'm buying calls all the way out into the future, so I'm bullish, and then I'm going to pound it into the dirt after earnings. Folks, after the all clear sounds, after people pound Amazon into the dirt post earnings, I'm going to buy it. So as an options trader, folks, we fly a fighter jet. We're not some big axe capital, right? We're not billions on show. We don't have to meet at 1 o'clock in our investment committee room and decide what we're doing with our $1 billion worth of Amazon. We can pull on the stick in our single seat options trading fighting cockpit and go from being bearish to bullish to neutral on Amazon. That's the beauty of being an options trader. If you don't know what options are, I'm going to teach you options, and I'm going to tell you how you can learn how to trade options here in a couple minutes with me. It ain't rocket surgery, folks. Now let's take a look at the XLY, because we're also going to trade the XLY. Similar, let's compare the two. XLY versus Amazon. The XLY, look at this. So there's Amazon outperforming that, which makes sense, right? Because it's got other names in there. But this is still, look at the relativeness of it, right? It's still kind of a good proxy. Okay. So 53% to Amazon's 104. But again, the XLY is 180 bucks. Amazon's 3,800 bucks, or no, 30. What am I at? 30. My God, you would think I would know what the stock. 3,600 bucks. I think there's an absolute definite possibility or probability we get back down to 3,300 next week or in the next couple weeks. Okay. I have predicted with my members, I said for the next 3 to 6 months, we're bullish. When did I say that? Back here. October and September are going to be absolute shit shows, in my opinion. Okay. For a bunch of reasons. What's his name? I had some good intel up here on, Scott Bernard. He's the CIO of Guggenheim, a couple hundred billions of dollars. Good headline. Guggenheim's Bernard. Stocks could fall 15% in the fall, as September and October may be very rough. Could not agree more. And he also talks about Bitcoin and stuff like that. October and February are tied for first for being the most volatile months of the year. We're done with Q3 earnings. We're essentially done with the year, right? The market's done looking at what earnings, and we're looking towards next, all sorts of reasons. I'll teach you all this stuff. What am I getting at? I'm getting at this is rip your face off rally out of Amazon implosion. Rip your face off rally out of Amazon implosion. Rip your face out of Amazon implosion. Keep going higher. If that's the case and you believe that, I'll teach you how to get bullish and just sit there. I don't think that's the case. It's going to do this. I'll buy more down here and then trade that. I love this stuff, guys. I'm very passionate about what I do. If I wasn't teaching you all to do this, I'd be sitting here by myself doing this, right? So I love putting the ladder down. I love being an instructor pilot. I love being a guy who teaches trading. Again, I can't give you individual investment advice. There's hundreds of people in here. You're getting to eavesdrop on what I'm doing. What you do on your side of your computer in your bunny slippers is between you and your certified financial planner, your registered investment advisor, or your broker dealer. Those folks can talk to you one-on-one, right? They'll take you out to lunch, right? And then you got to buy lunch, but they can look at your risk tolerances and how much you have to this. I don't. I just can't. This is one-to-many impersonal talks, just like the dudes on Fast Money or whatever. They're telling you what they're doing. What you do, you really got to look into. But hopefully this intelligence brief, so to speak, has given you some intelligence on Amazon. Short-term bearish, long-term bullish. Love being an options trader because we can, in fact, do both. Okay, love it. Absolutely love this stuff. All right, real quick, and then I'll take questions and some good questions in the chat box. Solo Amazon is the name of this service. Why? That's all we trade. Well, we trade XLY too, but you get it. It's our newest live trading service here at Top Gun Options. Normally, our live trade briefs, the other ones that I do, I trade Monday through Thursday. Friday is my day for the foundation. Meet with donors, go help veterans, do podcasts, all sorts of stuff. So I don't trade on Fridays. But this, folks, is only $8.97 a year or $97 a month. Okay, $8.97 a year or $97 a month. Let me give you both of these links here, but don't. You know what? Let me finish this, and then I'll give you the links so you can grab your slot because there's some more information. Okay. As a businessman, I'd love for you to do the month to month. If you want to try this out for a month, do the $97. I'm going out to dinner here tonight in Fort Lauderdale. I guarantee you, hell, a bottle of wine in Fort Lauderdale is more than $97 for 30 days. Okay, I'm going to show you my track record and everything here in a couple of minutes. But for $97, folks, for a month, that's insane. I do the $97 a year because it's a great discount. You get 25% off if you do the annual up front. So technically, this is a 50% discount from my other services. We did our weekly debrief this morning. We did accelerated retirement yesterday. We also did weekly options yesterday, where we looked at that Tesla bear call spread that I just showed you is up 3 or 4 grand right now, which is doing fantastic. All right, so last year, we did pretty damn good. Amazon was up about 140 grand. I got hit on some XLY on the turn, right? When we imploded and then bounced and we were about to implode again, I had some bearish XLY on. And then when Jerome Powell dropped his nuke, boom, and we went up, I didn't get out a couple XLYs. So I will always, always, always show you my losses. So we had some losses in XLY last year, but did about that. So net about 110 grand last year. Here is our year to date. These are trades taken right. I got my Excel sheet right from my brokerage platform. We are up $55,000. This is just a screenshot of my Excel sheet. I can show you the full thing. But total trades year to date in Solo Amazon have been 50. We are at a 76% rate. So that's 55 grand and a 76% win rate. That is fantastic. That's higher than my career 74%. So I'm a little bit above average. And if we did 110 last year, and I'm at 55 right now, which is halfway through the year, that's pretty creepy. Well, June, July. Well, I'm a little under where I was last year. But folks, last year was freaking epic. So there you go. 50 trades so far, 38 winners, 76% winning trades for just over 55,000 bucks right there. We do straight calls, we do straight puts, we do spreads, we do iron condors, you name it, man. Can attend Wiz every Monday at noon. I work for a living. Well, about 80% of our members work for a living, right? I send out an email and a text alert the second that I see a trade to open, right? This is a screenshot literally from my cell phone of a new bull put spread, right? So that is, I copy and paste it right from my trading, from the order ticket over to the blaster, and then I blast it out. You get an email with the trade in it, and also with the metrics of the trade. What's the max potential profit, the max potential loss, taken directly from the brokerage platform. And then 30 minutes after I get done talking, just like today, I will post the replay. I'll show you where this replay will be posted in a couple minutes, but it takes about 30 minutes for the recording to render. Okay, so email alert, text alert, and the replay if you can attend. I'm also going to throw in today your flight manuals, man, the primary, intermediate, and advanced manuals. Let me help you out with some knuckle dragging fighter pilot math or political science major math. If you go to my website right now and try and buy these manuals, they're $197 for the 3 of them. It's $97 for a month. Now, I'm going to not take up too much of your time, but when I do that math, you're essentially making $100. You're getting 30 days into the service, and you're getting $197 worth of manuals. My marketing team calls this an irresistible offer. I called it stupid, but they know what they're doing about marketing, and I'll just stick to trading. So irresistible offer, folks. These are great. I go reread these. These things are packed full of option stuff. You're going to get access to the brief every Monday at noon, the text and email alerts, the manuals, and access to our members only forum, our online forum on our website. It's called the Ready Room. I learned more about flying and fighting the F-18 in the Ready Room than I did from a book. More case study stuff. I'm not going to waste your time. People are doing great. But I'll give you the links in a second. If you want to test fly it for a month, it's $97. But it's obviously cheaper to do an annual membership. Now I'm gonna be like the dude with the flex tape, right? The guy in the blue shirt. But wait, there's more. Just like Amazon, when you buy something on Amazon, they down at the bottom they say, "Hey, but people also bought this stuff." Well, this is what you have to do. You have absolutely got to get the full throttle training. For those of you who are sitting here going, "Dude, I don't even know how to spell the word put," guess what? For only $195, you're going to get access to our 8 full throttle training sessions, and here they are right there. 8 building block sessions. Trading methodology, intel sources, long calls, short puts. We take a building block approach, just like I learned how to fly a fighter jet, man. I showed up and learned about meteorology and engines and this and that, and navigation. Building block approach all the way to flying off the pointy end of an aircraft carrier. Okay, this is awesome. So please, please, please take it. It'll be a little bit of a box after that says, "Hey, do you want the full throttle training?" There are other places that literally charge thousands of dollars for this crap, and I think it's theft. It's a disgrace. I mean, you should give the knowledge, man, for cheap. It's the trading ideas. It's the practical application of it that is where you cut your teeth. So Solo Amazon, ladies and gentlemen, newest live trading service. Like I said, our other briefs are $167 a month. You can get this for $897 a year or $97 a month. So yeah, for all the people asking for the link, sorry about that. Just wanted to give you the brief first in case you had any questions. All right, so here's the Solo annual page. This is where you can grab your Solo membership. For an annual one, let me put this in the chat box. It is down here. There you go. There's that one. And then this one is the monthly. They're pretty easy to remember. TopGunOptions.com/solo-Amazon-monthly. And the other one is annual. For some reason, they're not hyperlinked. Let me Solo TopGunOptions.com/solo. Hold on. You can still click on them, I think. Top Gun Options. Solo Amazon monthly. Well, here you go. This is the full. Here's the long. It like redirects to a long URL. There you go. We just hit enter on this one and do the same thing. It like redirects it to like the real page. Absolutely. All you have to do is shoot an email to support at Top Gun Options at the end of 30 days. Hey, I'd rather upgrade into an annual membership. We don't apply the $97 because you used it for a month. So no, if you want to upgrade into an annual membership after you test fly it for the first month, that's a great idea. It's cheaper, obviously, to do the annual, but there are folks. If you want to kick the tires, so to speak, go over here and do the monthly membership. It's 55. Well, let me bring it up. $55,000 year to date. I'm short some Amazon shares. I'm short shares going into earnings. I think it's going to sell the news. I can be completely wrong, but I've been trading Amazon for a couple decades, more or less, guys. Where's the let me pull up the email because I just had all this stuff calculated. It is down here. Let me find it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, if I always say if here it is right here. There you go. Yeah, I can post this on the member page. These are all the trades. What's the columns here? Yeah, dollar in, dollar out, closing price, buy. So obviously red was a losing trade. Losing trades happen, duh. But there you go. Yep, down at the bottom, 55,000 bucks. 110 last year, 55 this year, and we're halfway through the year. So kind of on track. Yes, when after you grab your monthly or annual membership, there'll be a box that pops up that says, "Hey, do you want the full throttle training?" Let me show you what that entails. So here's our member site here. Underneath member content, you go to full throttle. This is where you should live, man. This is awesome. Session 8, synthetic stock. Session 7, iron. Oh, look at that. Session 7 was an iron condor session on Amazon. Session 6, double verticals. Session 5, bearish spreads. Ooh, Amazon again. Full throttle session 4, bullish spreads, covered calls, cash secured puts. So these are the full throttle training videos, folks. These things are fantastic, man. Options basics, intelligence gathering, mindset, trade plan. We have that 7-step trade plan that I go through, our proprietary trade plan. So this is great. So please, I'm begging you. It's only $195, guys. And I'm telling you, I was at a company 11 years ago that charged like $3 or $4 grand for this training on DVDs. Remember that? I'm like, why don't we come up with like live trade briefs that are a practical application of this? Who wants to sit there and watch a DVD for 9 hours on an iron condor? Why don't we get in the market live and show them what an iron condor is? That's dumb. We can charge $5 grand for this stack of DVDs. Nope. Kathy, you haven't decided yet. We'll figure out when the next live full throttle training will be. So these are the recorded ones from last month or whenever it was. We will do another. We do these 4 times a year, folks. Once a quarter usually. I'll do a new round of 8 fresh, brand new ones live. So until we do one of those at the end of this month or next month, go watch all of these other ones. Jeff, I'm not with Tradier now. I'm not there yet. I'm waiting for them to come up with portfolio margining. At E-Trade, I have a portfolio margining account, and I need it. I love it. It allows me to trade, $1 million worth of a couple $1 million worth of haircut. So once Tradier gets portfolio margining, I'll definitely look into it. Yeah, this Tesla trade is up. I sent that out yesterday. 77%, $3,200. There you go. That would have paid for your solo Amazon membership right there. All right, guys, I'm 2 minutes over. That means I owe everybody in this room 2 drinks whenever we meet. Oh, speaking of whenever we meet, not save the date. Go get your ticket on on November 20th. I have rented out the IMAX in downtown Fort Lauderdale. 300 people. We're already half sold out. We're going to have Hollywood, Washington, and military VIPs there, which is going to be epic. We rented out. This will be the world premiere of Top Gun 2 Maverick. This is a fundraiser for our charity. So after we go watch Maverick, around 6:15, we're coming to the hangar and we're having a hangar party, man. We're going to have fighter jets in here. We're going to have muscle cars. We're going to have Gulfstreams. We're going to have VIP. We're going to have VIP section. We're going to have DJs. We're going to have food, dancer, you name it. This hangar is going to be the place to be on that day in this country with the people that are coming. The future president of the United States has tentatively agreed to be there, and you can maybe fill in the blank and figure out who that's going to be. But here's the link to that. Only 300 people, folks, because that's what the IMAX holds. That's not me saying, hey, we're only taking 300 people. That's math. So be here in Fort Lauderdale on November 20th, man. This is going to be epic. One of my buddies who was a Blue Angel, shot most of the footage for the movie. So you're going to get to meet him and maybe even get to go fly with him. And I will upload the replay to this on the replay page, which is, hold on, let me grab the address here. It is hang on. It is right here. Copy. Here's the replay page. It's in the chat box for where this brief is going to be posted. Okay, so the link to the replay page, give me, I don't know, about a half an hour to post the replay. Good, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're a great American as well. Solo Amazon. All right, folks. If there's nothing else, I'm going to get going. I know we had some my strategic partners email for this, so hopefully that was a good introduction for the what we do here at Top Gun Options. A Gulfstream 550 driver, Scott. You want to be here, man? One of my buddies, he was a Tomcat pilot. He's a chief pilot for Gulfstream. He's bringing one of your newest. I don't even know what the newest thing is, Scott. So try and make it to our foundation event. It's going to be a good time. Jeff, thanks for the drink from Niagara Falls. Awesome, Jeff. Don't know the next time I'll be there, but if anybody comes down to the event down here in South Florida for our foundation, I'm buying. You're welcome, Scott. All right, folks. Good job. Yep. The links are in the chat box. It's really easy. Top Gun Option, topgunoptions.com. Solo-Amazon-monthly is that one. You bet. Mark, for November 20th, just click down here. There's different packages. There's a VIP package. There's just one ticket. There's 6. There's a VIP package where you get 6 flight suits. It just depends on what you want to do. So click here, right here, and it'll take you to all the pricing for the packages. Some of them you get a transport to and from the movie. Others you just get a ticket to watch the movie. So that's what's going on. Oh, sorry. I wasn't showing you my screen. So just scroll down on that page and click here to register and buy your tickets or packages now. You got it. All right, folks. Like I said, the replay will be posted here shortly. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge and God bless. Namaste. I'll see all our new folks. My phone's been buzzing back here, so that means hopefully a lot of new folks. We'll see you Monday in our solo Amazon brief at noon. Okay? God bless, and I'll talk to you later. Cheers.